Do you want to live a long and healthy life? I do. Do you want to be 90, 100 and still feel healthy and strong and full of your faculties, wise and living life to the fullest? Well, life may be all about getting wiser, but it's also about staying strong and healthy. And healthy aging is something that we all want to pursue. And I want to talk to you today about some ways that you can do this, some ways that you can live a long and healthy life, which is the most important thing, by doing a few simple things. I've got some ideas for you. My name is Margaret Manning. I'm with 60andMe, and I want to welcome you here. Thanks so much for being a part of this journey that we're on together. Our show today is brought to you by International Living. International Living is a company that's designed to help people think about retiring abroad. If you're thinking about retiring in a place that's maybe less expensive, more affordable, or a different culture, different place, they've got some great ideas for you. So if you check out their website, internationalliving.com/60andme, they will send you their latest report. You just have to give them your email address and they will send you a link. But they're a great resource if you're considering moving overseas in retirement. So let's talk about living a long and healthy life. One of our bloggers, Anne-Marie Mersham, wrote this article, and it repeated some things that I had read in other places, but I wanted to put them all together for you. And she gives us 4 practices that we can bring into our lives to help us live a long and healthy existence. Now, when you ask people, how do you want to live to be 100? They all say, well, only if I'm healthy. And that's the truth. I mean, you don't want to be an older person that's dependent on someone else or having physical problems that are limiting what you want to do with your life. And even Anne says this, and I think it's really true, that as you get older, you do get happier. I think you appreciate life more. You see it through a different lens. And it's funny, as I've gotten older myself, I actually think I'm happier now than I ever was, because life is precious. And sometimes I wish I could just have like another 50 years to take all that I've learned, all the wisdom that I've achieved through experience and through life bumps and knocks and sadness and loss and happiness. But whatever the things that have happened to all of us, we want more. We want more of a good life. We want a happy and healthy life. So how can you make this happen? Well, it's true. Anne-Marie talks about the fact that, some of us, like in her case, they're blessed with good genes. Parents live to be in their 90s, and that does contribute to your longevity. I think about 40% of your longevity opportunity is related to genetics. So you do inherit strong genes that can help you to go through. But only 40%. 15% is about life circumstances. And then I think the rest is about just what you eat, how you live. It's in our control. And a lot of the diseases that are, around in our lives today are actually caused by lifestyle decisions that we make. I mean, smoking or excessive use of drugs or whatever. These are things that do affect our longevity. And of course, where you live does matter, and the kinds of lifestyle that you have in terms of food and exercise and so on. So she says, she got the lucky card with her genetics. Also, she was born in the United States and not in somewhere like Ethiopia, she mentions, who they have challenges with climate, with the lifestyle, and the issues related to poverty and so on. There's many places in the world where this is I'm not picking on Ethiopia. I've actually never been there, and I'm sure it's a very beautiful country, but there are some places where you just have a less of a chance to grow older, just circumstances. So she talks about the usual things, exercise, of course, and food, but what really makes a difference? Now, she talks about the blue zones. Now, I think you've probably talked about or heard about the blue zones. These are places in the world where there are more people who live to be 100 than anywhere else. They call them the blue zones. And of course, researchers are always out there in these places. They're like Ikaria in Greece, and there's Okinawa in Japan. They are places where they go out there to check what are these people doing that is enabling them to live to be 100. And we're not in other countries or in other places not doing that. So a doctor, I think he's a doctor, Dan Buettner, did extensive research, and he went out to Okinawa, I believe, and interviewed 300 centenarians, people, I think, who are 100. Yeah, centenarians. And he said that there were lots of features that were common to them all. But there were four main categories. So these are the four things that you might want to look at in terms of what you could do to sustain a more healthy lifestyle. Now, and a longer lifestyle, longer life. So the first thing is close relationships. They promote longevity. There was a really good TED talk. I can't think of the name of the woman, but it's just reinforcing this, that you can have a great diet, great location, great, whatever your situation is financially, whatever. But if you don't have good social connections, strong social connections, loving relationships, you will not live as long. The research shows that. So close family relationships are one thing, but then it's also your friends, the people that you spend more time with. As we get older, women are tending to come together. And 60andMe, our community is about women who are in their 60s, 70s, sometimes alone. But having a friendship, having a community really makes a difference. It's a sense of belonging and purpose. Another thing is natural activity helps with longevity. Now, we all know that exercise is super fun and important, and it's one of those things we all want to encourage. Get out there and walk, go to the gym, swim, dance, whatever you do. But natural activity is also really important. Now, a lot of these centenarians that Mr. Buettner interviewed were living in places where there were like hilly terrain, where they had to climb up hills every day, and where they had to keep busy. They didn't have maybe the public transport options, or they didn't have cars. His research shows that natural activity, a natural active lifestyle is the best. Cleaning, gardening, just being out in the world. That's really, really important. Use the stairs instead of the elevator if you're in an urban environment, and just find opportunities maybe in your community. A lot of these people did that. They were out helping others in their community and just being physically active naturally. So maybe it's time to move, get up and do something to, really stimulate exercise. Another thing is less meat in your diet. Now, again, I'm not judging, I'm not recommending, I'm just reporting the research he did to say that most of the centenarians that he spoke to, the people in these blue zones in the world where they live longer, just tend not to eat as much meat. They eat fish, they eat vegetables, natural products, not processed foods. These are all things that I'm pretty much, preaching to the choir. I know that you know this. And if you're a woman in your 60s or older, you've done some experimenting with this and you know what works for you. But, basically less meat. They talk about plant-based diets. 40% of men and 60% of women over 85 in the United States deal with dementia. Isn't that incredible? That's an amazing number. For 60% of women over 85 deal with dementia. And it's not, anyone's fault. It's just that there's something in the way we live our lives in the Western countries. In our Okinawa, for example, it's 10%. 10% over 85. And all this information, by the way, is in the article by Emery Mersham. And check it out because it's really, really interesting. And at the end of her article, she actually gives you a link to take the Blue Zone test. So you can see kind of what, based on your lifestyle and your habits, from this research that this gentleman did, you can see what your life options are and how long you're going to live. It's all hypothetical, of course. But anyway, the fourth thing is a sense of purpose. And the sense of purpose is not just, doing this big thing in society, making a huge contribution, being a celebrity on Instagram or a rock star. It's just about doing something every day that you want to get up and do it. It's a motivation. That's something that's important to you. And it could be just an activity that you love. It could be just doing your yoga every morning. And by the way, I want to mention that all of our yoga videos now are on our new shop, 60andmeshop.com. And if you're interested, it's gentle yoga, chair yoga, yoga flows, and they're all somewhere here. I have a little show and tell, but they're really great, and they're designed specifically for seniors, and that's a really important distinction. So you can do this. That could be what gives you purpose in your life, staying healthy. It could be volunteering. It could be helping with your grandchildren or, with someone in the community that needs a little extra help. Maybe volunteering at a school or at a group. But it's just about having something that motivates you, something that gets you up and energized every day. And helping each other and being kind, I think, is a really great strategy for just a happier and healthier and longer life. So those are the four lifestyle changes that you can consider when you're thinking about wanting to live longer and to really enjoy some of this great wisdom that we've learned along the way, be able to apply it into a healthy and happy future. So I'd love to know, what do you think is your life expectancy based on what you know of your life, your genetics, your lifestyle, the foods you eat, exercise? How are you doing? I don't want necessarily to put a number on it, but do you think you're doing the things that you can do to stay healthy, to have a long and healthy, happy life? Tell us what you do. I really would love to share in this conversation. Tell us what kinds of things you do to stay healthy and well into your 60s, 70s, 80s, and give us some tips and suggestions. Maybe you live in a blue zone. Maybe you could tell us in your community why you think so many people are living a little longer than the averages. It's a great conversation, meant to be positive. And so stay well, stay healthy, have a really, really great day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.